Falling in love with physics. These are 9 stories of passion and inspiration for female physicists in Taiwan. Physics makes me happy, feel appreciated, and smile. Dr. Lin Qingliang. Dr. Lin Qingliang, 74, is a retired physicist who taught for more than 2 decades at the physics department of Taiwan National University. My passion for physics has never faded. I often solve difficult problems late at night. It is much easier to figure out problems on your own. Sometimes I think about a problem for days. Then I suddenly realize the answer. The satisfaction I feel after solving a problem has driven me to study physics throughout my life. Although she has been retired for many years, Dr. Lin still goes to the school early to prepare for class every day. She talks to students and shares her life experiences with them. Her youthful spirit makes her look so much younger than her actual age. I never want my students to learn physics by rote. Physics is not boring. It makes so much sense for everything in life. Before her retirement, Dr. Lin began to write a series of books about the fundamentals of physics. She wishes to help the youth to understand physics via an interactive and easy approach. Why make physics so difficult? Physics is very interesting. Physics is alive. Dr. Ye-nei Cheng is a professor at Caltech. In fact, physics can explain everything in life. I think it's all about beauty, and the study of physics helps us to discover the beauty and the truth of the universe. Dr. Ye-nei Cheng is the first Asian female to be granted tenure at the California Institute of Technology over the last century. Caltech is a prestigious university. As a foreigner, Dr. Ye's tenure is an outstanding achievement. For some phenomenon, most people cannot understand or know how to explain it. But if you can break through and get results, for me, that moment of the sudden realization is like what we call the awareness in Buddhism. My sudden awareness of the truth is the greatest treasure in the world. Ye obtained her PhD in physics at age 25 at Massachusetts Institute of Technology. She started teaching at Caltech a year after. Due to her excellence, she was awarded to be a fellow physicist at the American Physics Society, becoming one of the world-class physicists. Females can succeed as well. Females can be confident in themselves. Females can surely have a great life. We can enjoy being physicists and also having fun. Dr. Lin Ni Hao, professor at NCU Institute of Space Science. I always had great interest in the universe. I always looked at the sky when I was little. I wondered why the moon follows us, and I would ask all kinds of questions. Some people called me a dreamer. Like the payload plan I proposed was probably just a dream in the first place. I want to write history. On the evening of December 14, 2004, the very first space payload machine, designed by Taiwanese scientists, flew into space with the Discovery 4 shuttle at Pingdun Aero Base. This mission is mainly about the research of atmospheric glow discharge. So they used the photometer on Discovery 4 to analyze the green light in atmospheric glow. Dr. Lin Ni Hao at the Institute of Space Sciences is the chairperson of the project of the Space Photometer, and she is the only female chairperson. She has published numerous important scientific research studies. She is one of the few great space scientists in Taiwan. Women should never feel small. We should never let others tell you what you can and cannot do. I believe that females are smart, sensitive, considerate, and focus on the big picture. These great characteristics make females become great people. Dr. Li Qianglin is a researcher at Center of Condensed Matter Sciences at NTU. She is the only Asian vice editor at American Vacuum Society, AVS. She has contributed greatly in nanotechnology and has been recognized internationally. Her husband, Dr. Kui-Hsien Chen, is a researcher at the Institute of Atomic and Molecular Sciences in Academia Sinica. This couple works together in material science and has developed many new finishing materials, such as the finishing paint for stealth. They also co-host several cutting-edge research labs in Taiwan. Dr. Lin and Dr. Chen were classmates at NTU. After graduating from NTU, they went to Harvard University for their PhDs. After obtaining their degrees, Dr. Lin worked for the GE Corporation as a material researcher. She was one of the female minorities. However, both of them always had the passion to devote themselves to their home country, Taiwan. Thus, they gave up their high-paying jobs and great lives and decided to come back to Taiwan. Their goal is to nurture more excellent scientists for Taiwan. Students aren't my tools. They are my colleagues. A lot of them stay with me for 2 to 4 years, or even longer. During these years, I treat them like my little brothers and sisters. I hope they can learn something from me. I want them to feel like this lab is like their home, so we support each other and share things. Dr. Xu Qingye is a professor of physics at National Tsinghua University. Her specialties are high-energy nuclear and atomic physics. She has published near 200 papers. Her specialties are very rare in Taiwan, especially for a woman scientist. From 1986 to 1989, Dr. Ye was recommended by Nobel Prize winner Dr. Samuel Chao-Chung-Ting to work as a researcher at CERN, Conseil Européen pour la Recherche Nucléaire, CERN. In this world-known institute, Dr. Ye worked with the best scientists from all over the world. I was so thrilled when I learned that I was admitted. Her success is dedicated to her family. She left her family for the position at CERN. It was very hard for me. I was so motivated to do this, even though I had to leave my family for a while. My research load was heavy, but I actually quite enjoyed my time being there despite all kinds of pressure. It was the adjustment for research for one. Additionally, I felt terrible that I had to be away from my family for so long. Dr. Ye's outstanding performance had a wonderful influence on her kids. They obtained their doctoral and master's degrees, respectively. They both have had great achievements in their fields. Many women cannot find a balance between family and science, so most of them quit science and choose family. In fact, it is not that difficult to balance as long as you have support from your family. Chu Yaping is studying for her doctoral degree at National Taiwan Normal University. She got married and became pregnant during her study. Now, her child is already more than 1 year old. Her family's support allowed her to fulfill her dream of being a physicist. The most interesting thing for me in physics is, when you experiment, you encounter something. You don't know how to explain it, so you discuss it with your advisor and study it, and you try to explain it. Afterwards, you find your own answer. I think it's the most appealing thing in the world. Chu had been a school teacher after graduating from college. However, she wanted to follow her dreams of doing research and gave up teaching in order to go back to school. In the future, she plans to pursue a postdoctoral degree abroad after getting her PhD. I am still young. I should take the chance to see the world because there are so many wonderful things worth learning. If I continue teaching afterwards, I will be able to expose my students to all the fun things I have discovered. For me, I think everyone needs to discover what your passion is rather than doing something others tell you to do. Only when you do what you really love can you find true happiness. Dr. Wei Chen Chang is a professor at Department of Photonics at Feng Chia University. She teaches many general physics courses. She has many creative approaches to teach physics. She is the physics magician. She uses common objects to teach physics. I don't like packaged experimental tools because they are not made for real life. They belong in labs. Dr. Chang is teaching high school students in central Taiwan. Question number 3. Look at this ball. Look at me. I cannot reshape it, but I also can reshape it. What's the difference? What's the trick? In order to motivate students to conform to my teaching style, I think common objects are more fit for my purpose. Life physics is a correct way for every teacher to work on. Our interactions in the classroom bring the teacher and the students together. While I was teaching freshmen, there were many students who told me after class that they wish their other physics teachers had taught them like I did. They believed they would have been less afraid of physics and possibly even loved it. Dr. Tri Rung Yu is the Associate Professor of Materials Science and Engineering, MSE, at National Tsinghua University. She was granted Scholarship of Study Abroad to Massachusetts Institute of Technology. After obtaining her PhD, she went back to Taiwan and started to work at Materials Science Center. I love challenges. Unlike schools, industries usually run in a fast path. If you work fast too, your capabilities are easy to be discovered. Then you will have more challenges. Dr. Yu's R&D specialties are advanced semiconductor processing and integration. She won the ROC National Invention Gold Medal Award in 2000 and Top 10 Distinguished Engineer Award in 2001 by Chinese Institute of Engineers. She has applied patents for 99 items. If your design is useful, you can apply it or even mass produce it. When I see people use my design, I feel very contented. Usually girls are less confident in themselves. Don't think I am a girl. Just do your best. When an opportunity comes, seize it. All you need to do is to try. Nothing is really that hard. I was supposed to be a given-up child in grade school. If it weren't for the compulsory education, I would never have become who I am now. Dr. Shou Fan Cai teaches at Department of Physics at National Sun Yat-sen University. She wasn't good at schoolwork when she was little. Fortunately, her 12th grade physics teacher, Chi San Wang, encouraged her to attend Kaohsiung Physics Fair, which changed her entire life and led her to fall in love with physics. She found herself and directions in physics. Under his instruction, it was so natural for me to choose physics. During her junior year at college, she was diagnosed with an unfamiliar disease. This disease had completely beaten her. My doctor did many tests, then told me my immune system was having trouble. He told me my disease couldn't be cured. They could only control it. Honestly, I was only 20 years old. It was like the end of the world. I was in such a misery. So I told myself, if I have to live with the disease, I will have to be strong. Dr. Tse has been teaching at NSYSU for many years. She has always been the only female teacher there. In the Taiwanese higher education system, there are few females that can be high-ranking leaders. Dr. Tse was the Chief of Student Affairs at NSYSU, and she was the only female who had ever been the highest-ranking leader at the university. To deal with troubles, you have to conquer them on your own. This experience provided me with some of my most precious memories. Take me as an example. My life has never been smooth. I had trouble in school. I have a lifelong disease. Nothing was ever easy for me. If I can do this, I believe all of you can too. I am glad that I chose physics. It showed me the beauty of simplicity in a complicated world. It helps me experiencing the action at the cutting-edge world. It made me appreciate the harmonious universe through the eyes of physics. My world has become bigger, and I have been more humble. Physics is interesting. Physics is alive. Physics helps us to discover the beauty and the truth of the universe. These great characteristics make females great people. Think carefully, then choose the field you are interested in. I believe persistence and obsession are the keys to success. Falling in Love with Physics. Produced by Working Group on Women in Physical Society, ROC.